Okay, hello. This is an explanation of Lab 6, where we go through the properties of logarithms. And so in this table, I need you to fill out on the left-hand side what the property is, and on the right-hand side, give an example of that property. But before we get started, I need you to keep in mind some restrictions when we're talking about logs. So on our logs, if we have log base A of x is equal to y, you need to keep in mind that that base, the a, must be greater than 0. Also, the a cannot equal to 1. And whatever's in the position of the x, called the argument of the log, also must be greater than 0. So as you are choosing your bases and values for your x, make sure that they fit those conditions. All right, so the first property that we will give an example of is the product rule. So property number 1 is the product rule, and the product rule says log base A of m times n is the same as log base A of m plus log base A of n. Now for the lab, I need you to write all the properties and give an example of each. So let's give an example of this, meaning we're going to plug a number in for A and plug a number in for M and plug a number in for N. So let's choose 5 for our A value. So we'll have log base 5, and I'm going to choose 3 for my N, for my M, and I'm going to choose 2 for my N. You have to choose different numbers than me for your lab. That will be equal to log base 5 of 3 plus log base 5 of 2. Notice that the logs have the same base of 5 each time. Okay, so that was the product rule. The next one that we'll do is log base A of m over n is equal to log base A of m minus log base A of n. This is called the quotient rule because we're dealing with a quotient m over n. Okay, and so to give an example of that, we just pick numbers for A, M, and N. So I'm going to, again, choose 5 for my A, and I'm going to choose 3 for my M, and 2 for my N. So that would equal log base 5 of 3 minus log base 5 of 2. So again, for this lab, you're just writing out the property on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, choose numbers for A, M, and N, and give an example of each. Okay. Next, we'll do the power rule that says if you have log base A of m raised to the p power, that's the same as putting p down front. P times log base A of m. So you would give an example of that, and so on, and just go through all of the properties in this manner.